But I meant to. I thought I was in the game. I hit Control J, and it's something else went. Shh.
Well, that was actually a really nice picture.
I know. Thank you. How you doing today, Puddin'?
Oh, fine.
Okay.
Stupid new Destiny contents.
All good.
I'm going to duck out. Thanks for the group earlier.
Yeah, no problem, Drifting. Take care, dude. Thank you very much for hanging out.
Yep.
All right. So guys, we're doing. This is who is this? Oh, SAT score. Do I even need to ping? Nope, he's already here. All right. So guys,
if you want.
I mean, you know, might be kind of fun. But this is SAT. Can you turn yourself up? By the way, you're like max. I can barely hear you.
Is this better?
Yes, thank you. Okay. So this is SAT score. This is the tier 6 Aoba. You're grinding this on your alt account, right? The first time?
Yep, that is correct.
Okay. But obviously, because it's an alt, you're doing this again. Like you've done this before. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about the characteristics of this ship line, sir?
Alright, so the heavy cruiser part specifically starts at tier 5, the Furutaka. You get 8-inch guns, which are actually pretty accurate. They literally have destroyer level accuracy. Which is pretty good. If you're a good marksman, you can land more shots than other cruisers of the same tier.
Right.
The other defining characteristic is their long-range torpedoes. In this case, the Aoba gets 10-kilometer torpedoes.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, they're kind of your typical kiting cruisers,
Mm-hmm.
and they're a very good example of that, just because of their very consistent play style. Like they'll carry the exact same guns all the way up to the Zao line. Their AP is not bad, but typically you don't use it as much. It's good
Mhm.
against broadside ships, of course, but HE is really the main feature of it. And because of that, this line's pretty beginner friendly.
Yes. Now, I will say there's one thing about this line that a lot of people don't remember, or kind of traps them, I should say, and that is the fact that those torpedoes. I tried to catch it, I just missed it. The torpedoes are rear firing arcs. It's like midway and to the rear. This is a trap because a lot of people think I need to spam my torpedoes as much as possible. SAT, you just did that just now. And the problem when you do that is exactly this moment. You've got a New Mexico or some other battleship that now has your broadside. So, you can do this, but keep in mind that you got to be very cautious with your maneuvering and your placement stuff. So, you're obviously turning out here. You're just tossing the torps in, figuring, okay, whatever they have isn't going to be able to react to you in time after you're spotted, right?
That is correct.
By the time the New Mexico gets all of his guns on you, you're already turning out. By the time those guns are on you and then he fires them, you're going to already be in a kiting away position. You might take 1 or 2 penetrating hits. You probably won't get citadeled, and you'll be fine. So, again, be cautious with that behavior. And as SAT mentioned, yes, the AP characteristics on these guns are fantastic, but people forget them because they're used to HE being really good in them too. Very good fire chance with these guns. All right, let's see what happens. I vote. I have a feeling the Vakvalin's going to just take all those torpedoes. And New Mexico's not even looking at you.
I thought about aiming for the Vakvalin. Unfortunately, I missed.
Look at his guns. What is he shooting? He's shooting. He's looking. He's like looking at something in the map.
Oh yeah, I forgot I PayPal'd him. I told him there was some nice scenery off in the background, so probably he was a bit fixated on that.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, anyways, notice that I put a destroyer in front of me. In this case, it would be the Bakulan. So the idea
Mhm.
is he can go out. If he runs into something, then I'm close
Yep.
by and can shoot at whatever he spots.
Yep. Okay. And this is again we've seen you. Oh, okay.
This
Wow.
is, yeah, it's one of the few things the Japanese cruisers can do uniquely. Randomly
Okay.
torpedo destroyers.
Yes. Well, it's the range. People don't think that that's a threat, especially in the mid to low tiers.
hmm Like, at this
And
point, I don't even bother with torpedoes since I'm way outside of range. And speaking of range, one of the notable drawbacks of this line is their low gun range. Uh, I only go out to 14.9, and that's with all my upgrades. As you can tell,
right,
New Mexico's almost outside my range already.
right. And of course, that forces you to, for players that are not as comfortable as you, play a lot closer than maybe they want to.
hmm
Now, Kamikaze, I guess was going to go into sea, but then got stuck or got lit on hydro and got scurred. So,
Yeah, he probably got scurred.
yeah, I think he got scurred. There's a York that's pushing him with hydro active, I'm sure, so. Yeah, he's got hydro on. It's the obligatory exploding Nuremberg. Now, you could pop AP here for the potential turnout, because why would a Nuremberg want to just charge in to a Mackinson?
Thinking about that, but also remember this is mid-tier, so people tend to do some random things.
Yep. And when you're not sure what's going to happen, HE is obviously going to be your better choice.
Yeah. So I was just waiting for my PayPal to process. Then I was like, okay, now you can show AP.
There you go. And the obligatory exploding Nuremberg explodes. I'm shocked and appalled by all this. Shocked.
Don't forget Aoba does have powerful AP. Best against other cruisers that are broadside.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, honey. And now here, you can see the Heinrich is fixing to push into you. Are you thinking about putting torps out yet, or do you want to wait longer before torping?
A bit longer.
And why is that, sir?
And that is because of the torpedo angle.
Okay.
So my detection goes out to 10.5. The torpedoes themselves go out to 10. So I want to be sure he's committed before I start. I go turn broadside and throw my torps out.
Okay. So instead, right now, all you are doing is just kind of farming. You're just shooting over the island and that sort of thing.
I'm pretty comfortable shooting over islands, but I do want to get to the side for slightly better shots. Normally, this is where you would also pop a spotter plane, but Aoba does not have access to that, so I'm forced to just kind of reposition for better shots.
Gotcha.
Compared to other cruisers of the tier, Aoba has not so good firepower. She has the important 32mm pen, but her damage output is actually not very good. So you're a little bit reliant on fires like that, and of course, Heinrich will DCP that. So you're a bit
Right.
reliant on fires and then targeting certain areas, because remember, you do have enhanced accuracy, so try to put that to good use.
Yes. Absolutely. All right, so Heinrich is now, and this is interesting because now you're kind of caught in a Baoan situation.
You usually don't want to be caught like this.
Right.
If at all possible, you want to have an escape route. I don't
Right.
want to be caught like this, but I know I have that island in front of me I can use to turn out. And
Okay.
also my Mackinson is taking the brunt of the damage. I know the Heinrich will focus him down first before shooting at me.
Well, especially he's closer. We see this even in the higher tiers, right? I kill what I can see and what's there, not what's farther away. So again, here's that torpedo arc. Now that I was able to grab it there, I got to slow this down all the way so that everything moves accordingly. But you can see how punishing that is, because a lot of players will try to try to get somebody right there on the broadside before they fire off their torpedoes, and then they get slapped for it. Now, one thing that's nice about the Furutaka is the torpedoes actually can reach kind of forward and back. So, unfortunately, it trains you to make those kinds of bad decisions. And the Kuma, I think, I can't remember what the Kuma's Tier 4 is like, but it's Tier 4, so who cares at this point.
Kuma was pretty good, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Kuma at Tier 4 and the Tenryu at Tier 3. I think Tenryu was one of my favorites. Those were back in the days when you actually had to play Tier 3 and 4 and 2. Now you just say, skip it, I don't care. Now you've switched over to get behind this rock, because of course that allows you once again to control your engagement. If the Heinrich comes around the corner, you can hit W. I'm surprised you haven't put your plane up yet.
I was focusing on New Mexico.
There's the plane.
A little bit on the late side. And this is where I forgot that Heinrich moves at 600 knots.
Yeah, he's pretty quick. You were all ready to go with your torpedoes, and then, oops. I see you went caught spread.
Oh yeah. I didn't have a good angle, so I decided to do caught spread.
Gotcha. Big O, thanks for raiding in. I was curious if you're still streaming, but I guess you're done now, huh?
So this is the situation you don't want to be in a cruiser.
Dinner time.
Gotcha. Now, I want to say, too, if you guys didn't notice, the Heinrich had a fire on that front bridge, right? And then SAT specifically aimed at the bow to set another fire. That forced the Heinrich to DCP. Now, the torpedoes have already gone through, but I'm sure what you're thinking right now is, I got to get him on fire as much as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you force him to DCP, get him on fire again, and now you're running out of map. You've got a border right there, so you've got a really tough decision to make. Do you turn left-ish and try to duck behind the rock, or do you turn out and flip? I'm assuming you can turn out and flip, but you could try the other way, maybe.
I could try, but I didn't think I had enough room to make a proper turn if I turned to the left.
Yep. Turning south will get you better movement. And the reason I'm highlighting that is because I've seen a lot of players that would turn into the rock to try to put the rock between, and then they get stuck because the battleship just walks right into them anyways.
So let's actually pause here. There is.
All right, that was a good time to stop. Actually, let's screenshot that. SAT gets citadel, takes it in the sits.
45-degree angle, hope for the best, and Heinrich's like, lol citadel.
Yep. Now, what were you going to say, sir?
Okay, so turning left versus turning right, it's basically a no-win scenario. I'm already in a bad position, so if I turn left, I could try. I would risk broadside right there, and I got citadeled. But if I turn left, I might be able to cut the damage in, but not by very much. I'd probably run into the island and die. If I turn to the right, I could get my torpedoes off, but at the same time, I cannot turn my turrets. The Japanese heavy cruiser turrets do not turn very well.
No. So what he's saying is, essentially, as he turns right, he has to flip his front guns like any battleship, or most battleships would. He's only got his rear turret he can use. Okay. Anything else, or are we good to move on?
That's good. You got your screenshot?
I did. It was fun. It's kind of, why not? All right. Now, you're very fortunate. The Heinrich, I don't know if you saw, but he turned kind of towards the island for a bit there, and then now he's coming back out. So he's actually giving you time to get your guns turned and get your torpedoes set up and everything. I know, he's already expecting you to die, and he's looking for the next opportunity. You know what? I got my picture already. We're gonna keep going. I don't need every death pick in this game.
So yeah, I
Hey.
figured I was gonna die anyways, so I launched my torpedoes at the last second.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like you're gonna hit with one. Those torpedoes hurt. Look at all the damage that he just did.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
This
his DCP's off.
That is fine. Pyrokin actually played that one pretty well. He was able to run me into a corner. I
Mhm.
did land a torpedo on him, but he got the best of me on that engagement.
But the thing is, he wasted a lot of his time. He wasn't able to come back and make anything happen over here. This area has been kind of dominated by you guys, and he did a nice job of recognizing I'm probably going to win this, so I'm going to turn and get ready for the next target. So, yeah, I think he did a nice job. He did a good job, too.
hmm Unfortunately, his team just did not hold up their end, so I ended up winning.